Hey, what's up YouTube, FPV people? My name's Justin, Proximity FPV. I just wanted to make a video. I like to get new stuff when it comes out sometimes, and I like to help people out if I feel like I'm one of the few people that has it in hand early on. I like to say something about it that might help other people figure out if it's something they might want to buy or if they might want to avoid buying something else. So I got the Orqa FPV One. It's in my hand. It exists. I ordered it as soon as I possibly could on Kickstarter, and yeah, 5 months later or whatever. So however long. So the guy felt like they did a great job of keeping everybody updated. I appreciated everything they did. They responded to me even a few times. So really nice guys. So let's just dive right in. That's looking pretty good. Try not to scratch that up. Get out of the way, old FPV stuff. All right, so here it is, the moment of truth. Watch, it's just an empty box with a sticker. No, boom, there it is, it exists. Very nice form factor, looks quality. I will say I noticed a minor imperfection in this mold, which is right there. But you know, it's a brand new piece of equipment. I wouldn't have wanted to, yell at someone for 3 months and delay shipping, because in real life that's what business is, just a bunch of people yelling at each other. So there we go. And basically, it has this module bay. I haven't really opened that up or checked it out. It comes with a power port. This powers everything. So, yeah. So then you got your buttons. I mean, you can figure out what these do. You can look at other videos to figure out exactly how to operate it. I'm mostly just going to give you a sense of what it's like actually having them, and a few things that I've noticed right away. So one of the things that I noticed right away is the image is amazing, and the field of view. If you have small, close together eyes or far apart eyes, this is going to be a game changer as far as the how much you can change that. I've heard some people talk about how these are loud. Who cares? How often do you change them? I mean, really, it's kind of annoying to change them all the time. But I guess once you memorize it. But yeah, it's kind of nice that they stay locked in and stuff. So I don't really care if it's kind of ratchety. I think that's intended. They do have a power button. Ooh, sounds just like a DJI. They just did a podcast where they said they like DJI products. So that kind of made sense. That powers on the rapid fire. As you'd expect, they're goggles. A few things I noticed right away is you can turn on the fan, of course. You just have this plug. I didn't like this weird balance lead. I was like, why is this here? You can unplug it from the power supply. And then I was like, well, why do you even have it then? And then I realized this thing, there's no way to get to the batteries. Really cool little case. Kind of double, I guess you just hold it down and it does a little car thing readout or whatever and gives you your battery level. So you use a little two cell or charger that balances, balance charges. I don't have any of that, so I don't know. It's kind of a bummer, but I have a bunch of batteries and stuff that I can always use in the meantime, and I can figure something out. I do like the battery pack. It straps on right here instead of going through this little thing. I kind of like that, honestly. It's just a little bit less intrusive when you put it on your head, whereas I kept knocking my Fat Shark one out. This has stayed on fine for me, no problems. The band is really, really nice. As soon as you put it on, you're kind of impressed. I did have a problem with these little holders. You'll notice here, if I stretch this thin, see how it pulls in the middle there? You'll notice like right here, there's no fabric. And I've had that come off a bunch. I had my Fat Shark one coming off a bunch. I know there's tricks that you can implement to kind of seal that so that it stays on. So I think I'm going to implement one of those just to avoid, dropping these or something. DVR on this side, DVR menu in this side. It looks full-fledged, like some kind of media player. You can just go through your stuff. Everything records in really simple to use files, and it records in high quality. Settings, Some of the stuff like the Fat Sharks, you just start pushing buttons to change stuff, and there's not a ton of settings. And this has a full functional, you know, menu in there. So you can kind of play around in there. There's quite a few options. Maybe I can go through some of that, but it would be kind of hard. Let's see. I noticed the fan kick on. I think it has a pretty good little computer in here. I noticed when I was running my computer through these, the screens were handling it like champs, playing like, you know, HD quality, you know, movies with no skipping or anything like that. So there's a decent little processor in here, and when it starts to get warm in there, the fan will kick on. I noticed it happens pretty fast and pretty regularly. But I mean, like, what you're getting a computer, you know, it's like you're getting something that actually has some guts to it, something that can perform and do what you're asking of it. So it's worth it. And the fan is a little bit loud, not overly so. I don't think it'll bother you on a day of flying, but if it's just sitting in a room, you know, right on your forehead, might get a little bit bothersome. HDMI input worked flawlessly, of course. I tested audio out, that works fine. The one thing I noticed about the audio is that when you plug it in, you have to basically, the audio port is right here, and you can see when you have your audio port plugged in, this just kind of hangs. And that was kind of a bummer because I usually like to leave mine in and I just kind of tuck it in here or something. And so I wasn't sure if I wanted to take this off or mod it or something, but I don't really want to mess with it. It looks pretty good shut down. I can see why they did that. It makes sense. I just wish there was some little port right here where I could still get through there if I wanted to. I really like the cover that it came with on here. It fit in perfectly. There is the tiniest bit of a gap here. I mean, you can kind of see, like, you know, but it's like, it's not noticeable. It's not, I just was kind of hoping that it wouldn't be there, but I'll mess with it later. I think it is kind of seated perfectly, but I mean, maybe I can use some sticky tape on the actual, you know, module to get it so that it doesn't push up, or if it is, you know. So yeah, I really like that. It looks really sleek. It fit perfectly. This little joystick works perfectly. You can tell they did a lot of testing. The one thing I would say as far as quality control is this is a new product, and I wouldn't suggest, like, I'm a big guy and I wouldn't suggest bending this in ways that you shouldn't. It probably hasn't gone through enough testing to where you can't break it easily. I noticed that, like, I had to mess with these a lot to find my center, and I was just like not sure if I was at the end because it's so coggy, and I felt bad because I don't want to start, you know, stressing out the internal components and stuff with these knobs. And I'm sure that that's how people are going to probably end up breaking these. So it's like they haven't gone through that level of quality control where they're going to start seeing people that are doing the same dumb stuff over and over that's breaking their goggles. For now, I just want to not try to avoid the dumb stuff and just keep them working. So yeah, really excited about them. I'll show you some footage, and then I'll also show you some flight footage, and, you know, etc., etc. Using the HDMI that was included with it, and going straight to these goggles, and then boom, go ahead and plug these in. It's cool, they got an auto input, so they kind of recognize what's up. Oh yeah, you got to turn them on. Stupid power button. All right, I already hate it. I'm just kidding. So I'm gonna try to get a good view of this. Let's see if I can get this in here in any kind of doable. There we go. And then we'll get it to focus in there. There you go. So hopefully you guys are seeing that, but I do have to say, looks really good. You could potentially watch a movie in there, no problem. So I'm gonna play some sim on there probably, but yeah, good stuff. Thank you, Orqa. Am I clear? I'm like right over here.
Yeah, you're clear. Thank you for people set up for this on the ball. It's easier to
It's probably good enough.
So that's it. FPV ones. That's what's up. Rip all the things with these. I want these to be my daily drivers.